Wait, before you fast forward, I'm going to show you this week exactly how even a person working for minimum wage at McDonald's could realistically retire with $500,000 in their 401k. And it only requires you to understand two concepts: employee match and compounded interest. Let's go. All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of D-Tron Does It. Of course, I am D-Tron, and I does stuff. And this week, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be showing you exactly how someone working for minimum wage could potentially retire with $500,000 in their 401k. This week's video is going to be a bit numbers heavy. I do have some graphics to help along the way, and I'll remind us of our concepts throughout the video as well. Quick disclaimer, even though I have extensive experience with this topic, done a lot of research, and I have my MBA, I am not a financial advisor. So use this video as motivation to just go get more information. All right, let's get into these concepts. The first concept that we're going to talk about today is the employer match program. The employer match program is where an employer will match a certain percentage or dollar amount of an employee's contribution to their 401k. For some companies, it's dollar for dollar, which means you contribute $1, they contribute $1, which gives you $2, I guess. The National Compensation Survey found that 56% of employers who offer a 401k plan, a little over half of those employers offer employee match programs, which means there's free money to be had. The second concept we're going to discuss today is compounded interest. And this one is just a little more difficult to explain. So compounded interest is the interest on a loan or deposit calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from the previous period. So here's an easy way to look at it. Your invested money will earn interest, which will make your account grow, which will earn more interest. And the process continues. Now's a good point to say, if any of these concepts interest you or you want me to explain something else, let me know down in the comments. I would love to make another video to help you guys out. All right, let's get back into it. So if you're like me, you probably need some more visuals to help you with understanding the concepts that we just talked about. And so I got you. Let me introduce you to Sam, Chris, Shannon, and Rick. They're going to help me illustrate how our two concepts will get us paid in retirement. I'm going to use investor.gov's compounded interest calculator to help illustrate exactly how our money will grow. So Sam is 21. He makes $7.25 an hour full-time at Wings R Us as a cashier. So quick math, $7.25 times 160 hours a month means he earns $1,160 a month. Sam doesn't trust me, banks, or 401k investments, but he's very disciplined with his money. So Sam saves 6% of his pay, we'll call it $69 a month, every month until he retires. When Sam turns 65, he'll be pulling out $36,432 and some change from underneath his mattress. Now Chris is also 21. He also makes $7.25 an hour full-time at the Golden Arches as a cashier. So using the same math, Chris also saves about $69 a month. But the Golden Arches match up to 6%, which means Chris's monthly savings just went from $69 to $138 a month. Even without compounded interest, you can see that the employer match program just doubled Chris's retirement fund from what would be about $36,000 when he retires to about $72,000. Now let's look at what Chris can look forward to when he retires using compounded interest and the employer match program. So here you can see Chris starts with nothing in his retirement. He adds $138 a month, $69 from him, $69 from his employer. He has 44 years before he retires. And I used 8% interest for this calculation. I use 8% interest just in case you care. Average 30-year annualized stock market returns are just a little over 10%. So I feel like 8% with a plus minus of 3 is a realistic view of what Chris could earn on his retirement account. Okay, back to the good stuff. With using an 8% annual return, Chris is looking at nearly $600,000 in his retirement account by the age 65. That compared to Sam's $36,000, making the same amount of money, working for the same number of years, and contributing the same percentage of their pay per year. Let's look at a yearly breakdown of how Chris and his employers contributions of nearly $37,000 led to a $600,000 retirement. You can see how each year the amount of interest earned on the money in the account differs from the 11, 8, or 5% interest estimates. But the money in the account still grows. Different rates, but it's still growing. When the interest is earned, it grows the account total and it's reinvested, and then the cycle continues for a total of 44 years. Now let's take a quick look at Shannon and Rick. Shannon and Rick also work at the Golden Arches. They save the same 6% as Chris does each year. They also take advantage of the employer match program. But the big difference for Shannon and Rick is their age. Shannon is 33 years old and Rick is 42. So using the same inputs as Chris, with the exception of their age, you can see a pretty significant difference in the estimated earnings. Shannon only saved for 32 years, which is 12 years less than Chris, and her account is almost $370,000 less than his, which means despite Chris and his employer only contributing about $1,600 a year, he averaged returns over those last 12 years equaling about $30,000 per year because of compounded interest. Shannon missed out on all of that money because she began saving later in her career. And the same can be said for Rick, who's 42, and his 23 years of saving left him with just over $100,000 using our estimates. Now let me address some of the assumptions that you probably are typing in the comment section right now. 401k accounts are not guaranteed. Yeah, I know. That money is invested in stocks, bonds, other interest-bearing things. And you know what? It could all be gone. Like literally, there are people who have lost their 401k savings overnight, and it's a disaster. But you know what else is a disaster? Doing nothing. Historical data points will show you that saving in a 401k versus saving in a traditional savings account at your local credit union, you're going to get much greater returns on a 401k, no doubt about it. And I know, here's another one that you're probably thinking, 8% isn't realistic. Well, I'll tell you, that's not true. I've got, last 10 years of my 401k that I can show you guys, and I'm getting just over 10%, which means if I were Chris at the same pace, I'd be a millionaire. And yes, I use a 6% match, which is not standard across the board. But what I will say is all employers, employee match programs, and 401ks are not made equal. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, this should just spark you to go get more information. But if your employer offers an employee match program, you're missing out on money if you're not taking advantage of it. And that much is a guarantee. If you're gonna walk away from this video with anything, I need you to walk away with these 3 keys. Ready? All right, here we go. Number 1, start saving now, like ASAP. It's so important. Look, saving now could be the difference between you retiring with $500,000 or $600,000 and retiring with $100,000. I can tell you $600,000 would likely be more comfortable. Just saying. The second thing is compounding interest is the key to unlocking the maximum potential of your 401k. Get money in the account, gain the interest, then gain more money. Like, you gotta get into this game if you're gonna be saving for your future. And last but not least, stop missing out on money. Go find out if your employer does employee match and get that money. That money, like for real, come on, man. I know y'all not trying to work until you're 70 or 80 because you have to. Hopefully you're just doing it because you need something to do with your time. That's it, guys. I hope you got something from today's video. If you have compounded interest questions or employee match questions or where the money reside questions, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you or look them up and get an answer for you, because that's what I do when I don't know stuff. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit that notifications button, get some alerts, find out when we're dropping new videos, which is every Monday. And if you decide not to like, share, or subscribe, you know what? I won't even be mad at you. Till next time, guys. Peace.